One of the key principles of systematic review, of any systematic review, is the ability to be transparent and replicable. Systematic reviews are tending to be used highly and relied on highly in public policy. And policymakers look to these, stakeholders look to systematic reviews to make important decisions. And we want the evidence from systematic reviews to be open and accessible and transparent. So it's critically important that we document every step of a systematic review. And ideally that a protocol is published prior to a systematic review so that people can access that and they can see what you thought you were going to do and then what you were able to do given the literature.
We get to tell people, here's a database of all the papers we found. Here are the papers that we got to exclude. You can tell them what happened at each step, and they're all traceable. And it helps people with the level of transparency to see what happened. If I look up the word PLGA, so the certain type of polymer, I'm going to find these sets of things. But if I look up the word like polymer or lipid or something, I'm going to get these sets of words. And so it also helps you kind of backtrack how it is that certain things don't come up when you search for them. Because what we kind of inadvertently realized while we were searching is that some of the names or the names of particles get so siloed that you can easily miss them. And they're not always super obvious about why they got missed, but you get to track that now because you actually have a transparent, reproducible function. I can tell you exactly how I searched and found them, and they're going to pull up, if anything, more papers over time, but they're not going to pull up less.
One of the big issues that we face in the field is that for many of our reviewers and editors, at least in my primary area of study, they weren't really familiar with conducting meta-analyses. It's not a very popular methodology. And so oftentimes one of the criticisms that I receive when writing my manuscripts is that the methodology section is too long, right? But our goal is to try to create a method section that's so descriptive that it can be reproducible. And so I think that it's extremely important. And again, this is where working with a librarian can be so useful, is that they can help you to document your literature search and ensure that it is going to be thorough. And also they may be able to help in providing some feedback in terms of the way that the literature search is described in the manuscript. So I think it's extremely important. I think that reproducibility when it comes to many of these meta-analyses is extremely important as well. And we should be striving to create more reproducible kind of studies and methodologies in the field.